post, there's a chance, there's a shot that comes in and it's fired home! LeBrun and Becker, what a strike! The 18-yard box is floated in and headed home. Felix has got a bit of space now down this right-hand side and into the penalty area. He goes past the goalkeeper, slots the ball home. The Lions have a third. Surely that's the game. He's in a good position, goes towards the edge of the area. Can get a shot away with his left foot and score another. He can. Just beat through. He's on the edge of the area. Takes a shot and he's put it in. First goal here at Nethermoor since March, and it's Kane Felix who gets it. Picked up here by Hayhurst. Edge of the area. Takes a shot. A super goal. At the back post, there's a chance, there's a shot that comes in and it's fired home! LeBrun and Becker, what a strike! The 18-yard box is floated in and headed home. Felix has got a bit of space now down this right-hand side and into the penalty area. He goes past the goalkeeper, slots the ball home. The Lions have a third. Surely that's the game. He's in a good position, goes towards the edge of the area. Can get a shot away with his left foot and score another. He can. Just beat through. He's on the edge of the area. Takes a shot and he's put it in. First goal here at Nethermoor since March, and it's Kane Felix who gets it. Picked up here by Hayhurst. Edge of the area. Takes a shot. A super goal. Well, hello and welcome here to Nethermoor Park for Guiseley's latest live stream. This time the big Boxing Day derby between the Lions and Farsley Celtic. Is it really 12 months ago since we last faced each other in what was a different world, a ground full of fans and a great occasion in which the Lions came out winners. But today, sadly, we can't have you in the ground because of the continuing restrictions as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. Hopefully it won't be too long until fans can get back in the stadium, but until that point we're still trying to go free with our live streams to keep you engaged, keep you involved in the club. And today we've got a little Christmas present of our own to give to you in the shape of two expert summarisers, and Nick Keefe alongside us today. First of all, former Guiseley manager Steve Kittrick. Good afternoon, Steve, and it's great to have you along today. So you're looking forward to this derby?
Yeah, it'll be a great game today. I think both sides will be physical, but I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas, and hopefully they've all had a good drink at home yesterday, and a nice bit of food, and everybody's relaxing, ready to watch this game on YouTube.
And did you have a good Christmas yourself?
Yes, thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah, well, very good. And you didn't have too much to drink, did you?
Oh, I'm not a drinker.
No.
Eddie'll back me up with that. I'm not a drinker.
Yeah, well, there we go. There's our second Christmas present for you. It's the evergreen AD Towers, who's literally is green today because he's wearing a green face mask as well. Good afternoon, AD. You looking forward to this bank holiday, the Boxing Day fixture, a perennial fixture for the Lions, and one actually we tend to get a good result at.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing about today though is as we've been talking about beforehand, because of various injuries and suspensions and whatever, we've had to do a considerable adjustment to the side. So although, as you say, we do well in this fixture, the reality is we are very much down to the bare bones today. So the lads will have to work extremely hard to get a result out of today's game.
Well, it's going to be an interesting tie, and we'll go through the team news because there is some interesting changes that have been forced on the Lions. But first, a really big shout out to everyone who's joined us and has supported us through the crowdfunder this afternoon. People like Ivor Timmis, who's saying, keep up the great work. Lee Galley, good luck, Lions. Richard Bott, season greetings to all at Guiseley FC. Thank you for the live stream. Keep up the good work. Deb and Kev, happy Christmas to all Lions on the pitch and off the pitch. Adam Thompson as well. Merry Christmas from all the Thompson family too. Thank you for everybody who's tuning in. If you want to donate, you can do so. A good number of you have, and we're almost at £6,000. We're very close to that threshold, which would be great if we could beat that shortly. And you can do so by going to the crowdfunder page on the YouTube account. Click through to it, and it's the Guiseley AFC link there. Richard Bott's pledged. Adam Thompson, Stephen Wayne, Stephen Buttle, thank you so much everyone who's pledged in recent days and today. Ian Taylor, Lee Galley as well, Ben too, also pledging money. Really, really, really gratefully received, and makes all the difference. So we'll quickly go through the team news and then get a quick note, quick comment from you both actually on the lineup today. So Guiseley, we have Brad Wade in goal, Isaac Curry, George Cantrell, John Lafudu, Chuck Malokwu, Andre Jones, Kane Felix, LeBrun Becker, John Wafula, Josh Parsons, and Nathan Newell. So quick question, first of all, to you, AD. What do you make of that lineup? How are we going to actually set this team up?
Well, as we've been talking about beforehand, because of the changes, I think we'll go, 3-4-1-2 or 3-4-3, depending on your point of view. I think the three centre-halves pick themselves, with Chukwu making his debut. But we'll have Andre Jones and Isaac Curry acting as holding midfield players. Josh Parsons as a 10. But when on the attack, it'll be very much 3-4-3 with John Wafula and Kane as the two main strikers.
So with Farsley Celtic, we've got Steve Drench in goal, Jordan Richards, Will Hayhurst, Chris Atkinson, Thomas Allison, Adam Clayton, Patrick Lane, Carl Johnson, James Spencer, and Dave Syons and Luke Parkin. Steve, a lot of players you know in both these sides, but particularly reminiscent more in the Farsley side. Yeah.
I mean, Drenchy played for me a long time, and I've not spoke to him for a while, but I'm sure he'll be up for this game. Like Adam will have him set up. He's had Guiseley watched a few times, so he'll know what it's all about. And it'll be a tough game today. Dave Sayers, good player. Clayton, the lad up front, he's a striker. He's a good striker, and he scores lots of goals if he's got his head on today. And he'll be looking at Ben Sharif's not playing, so he'll fancy himself today. It's unfortunate what's happened to Ben, because I think me and you were at the game, and I just think it were wrong. I thought the penalty were enough, and it should have been left at that. But it is what it is, and we've got to get on with it. But it's given an opportunity for another young player to come in from the academy and see how far he's away from making that step, because it is a big step. But as AD will tell you, we've over the years we've nurtured lads that's come through and done really, really well. So if they think it's time for him, what a great opportunity for Boxing Day to step into somebody's shoes and stake a claim. Yeah,
it really is a big opportunity, isn't it? And for the Lions, like such a challenging period of time as well. To lose Hamza Ben Sharif last Saturday was a real blow, because obviously we didn't feel the sending off was necessarily as legitimate as it might have been. But also, you know, we've got injuries to Milan Butterfield. We've lost Prince Polo, who's not in the country at the moment. So we've got a real challenge as well in just finding an 11 that will get out there onto the field that will have the balance that we need on in a game as important as this.
Yeah, and I think you've also got to look at other teams have injuries as well, and you can't. You know, you've got to be careful what you're saying about injuries, because it feels like you're moaning and making an excuse in case you're going to get beat. I think some of the young lads that's come on, and I've been here and watched them, they've stepped into the squad and done really, really well. And if Marcus and Russ trust them, then they've seen something in them to trust them to get them where they need to be. And I just think, you know, once they get a foothold in the game and the game goes right, especially at centre half, if he gets a touch, early touch, wins an header, wins a tackle, then he'll settle down and be all right. But you know, Spencer's a good player up front, and it makes a difference, doesn't it?
I think the other thing, Colin, if I may say so as well, adding to Kitty's thing, is we've done very well bringing the academy players through, and we've brought through over the years. But actually, I think sometimes we overplay that card as well, because when you consider there's lads playing the Prem at 18 years of age, you know, they're all used to winning. They're all very good footballers, and as if Marcus and Russ think they're good enough, well, you know, that's a testimony to them. So I think we've got to be careful not to overplay the lack of experience card.
Well, two sides are just beginning to make their way onto the field. You can probably see Farsley Celtic coming out in their green and white hoops as the Lions are just awaiting their entry into the field. So it would be great to introduce another one of our own as well, festively attired, although the camera strategically pointed away from you this afternoon, Nick Keefe. You're looking forward to this one, and really encouraging news. It looks like we're going to be able to tell the difference between the two sides this afternoon.
Yeah, clear differences in shirts today, aren't there? We can actually tell. It's really generous of Adi to come wearing a bit of Farsley colours to the game. That's much appreciated, because we do try to be as unbiased as we can be. But nice, easy shirt numbers for you to read, and two squads wearing 1 to 11 by the looks of it today. So neither of these teams with squad numbers, which has been another one of the quirks of what has been a definitely extremely quirky season, has been a mixture in the same division of players with the numbers on their backs and squad numbers that they carry for the whole season, and then what we're doing, which is sticking with 1 to 11, and should make for easy commentary, not least because of the number, as you've alluded to, of familiar faces in the Farsley team.
What we've got now is the two sides out on the field, and what an afternoon we have ahead of us. A really crucial Boxing Day derby between two sides here at Nethermoor that will be very keen to get the better of each other. A huge thank you to everyone who has donated to the crowdfunder. Absolutely essential for us to keep the stream free and available for all. We've been able and very grateful to be able to do that by covering the costs. Thanks to your generosity, and you could do so just ahead of kick-off now. We'd be really grateful for any support you can give. Just click through to our crowdfunder site to look through via crowdfunder for Guiseley AFC, and you'll find the Guiseley AFC live stream campaign that we're running. Mandy Cantrell's done so. She's pledged £20. Michael Green, Jonathan Hobbs, Ian Taylor as well. Thank you so much, as well as all the others who already have done so far today. It's really grateful and essential support for us to keep this show on the road in these tricky and difficult and challenging times. Just one last thought then, AD, from you before kick-off. You know, this is a fixture where we've typically came out on top. It was a pivotal fixture, wasn't it, last season? How important is it this afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, last season's 2 wins, I think, were, as you say, pivotal for the way the season developed, and actually interesting. I think we might have made the playoffs had it continued. But if you look at the Farsley lineup, it's a tremendously experienced lineup at this level. So this is as Kitty says, this is a massive test. There's not a player in the Farsley side who hasn't been around and, you know, very much battle hardened at this sort of level. So this will be a really difficult game.
So the referee gets the game underway, and Chris Atkinson defending inside his own half to win the ball back for the visitors, Farsley. Ball over the top, chased down that left-hand side. James Spencer up against Malokwu. He cuts infield, lays the ball back now to Richards on the overlap. Good ball into the box, claimed by Brad Wade, who takes it up to the edge of the 18-yard box. And away we go. The ball rolled out to the left-hand side, where Mbeka plays it forward. And unfortunately can't keep it in play. And it's out for a Farsley throw. Important to get off to a good start, isn't it, in a derby like this, Steve?
Yeah, you've got to get a foothold in game, and the young man there's just took his eye off the ball when it's come to him and it's gone in for the throw. But just got to steady the ship, haven't we, and get out of the ball.
Early shot comes in from Farsley right from the edge of the 18-yard box.
But a bit of momentum, with 2 minutes into the game, and that's the start that Farsley wanted.
So goal kick for Guiseley after a bright shot there from the edge of the 18-yard box. If you're listening in also on the MixLR, it'll be great to hear from you on the chat room. Guiseley restart with Brad Wade with a goal kick up towards the halfway line. Up and over the top. Awkwardly taken down by Wafula. Ball won back there by Carl Johnson. Nathan Newell battling to keep the ball in forward momentum for the Lions. Just over the halfway line, and Guiseley a throw. Becker plays it forward towards Wafula. He's closed down. And it goes back here for Sayers, who's in defensive duties to tidy up, who plays it back up towards the halfway line. The head of Spencer isn't met. Guiseley clear. It's out for a Farsley throw, though, midway through the Farsley half on the right-hand side. 0-0. With barely, 2 minutes on the clock. It's a swirling wind as well today, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, it's...
And forecast to get stronger and stronger, so by the second half it could be a real factor in this game.
Feels like it's coming from left to right as we watch, so the Lions are currently sort of playing into it. So it could work to our advantage in the second half, but Spencer's now got the ball here for Farsley as they play the ball into the box. Wade spilt it, he's lost it. It's a chance here for the visitors to take the lead. The shot from Luke Parkin is blocked brilliantly, and then there's a claim for a penalty. Another shot comes in here from Johnson. Wade gets down and clears that one. A real scramble there. Guiseley survive.
Keeper's done well there.
Yeah, he had to recover from the initial mistake. He came to collect it, spilled out of his hands, and he's done really well to get back up, block it with his feet, and that's given the defenders time to get in and around him and eventually see it clear.
Now there's another chance here. Farsley get the ball into the box. It's well saved again by Brad Wade, but at the moment it's the visitors who are on top in this spell.
This is exactly what we were worried about, isn't it? This new defence, there's a bit of organising needing to be done. We know that Hamza Ben Sharif does all the talking in there normally, and so far it's looked pretty chaotic at the back.
It's got to get some calmness into the.
Well, you've got to get your wing back. He's got to tuck in, and that's twice. The ball's got in there, and he's got to tuck in, get as near as he can to the centre half, without being in his pocket. If that makes sense, then that ball he don't get to that ball.
Ball's played out from right back and headed on by Thomas Allen. Guiseley get a free kick as Wafula goes to ground. But after that early scare, Guiseley will be looking to settle down and perhaps get the ball forward and maybe try and test the Farsley goalkeeper, the familiar face of Stephen Drench.
I don't think people realise, unless you've been involved in it like me and Eddie have for a long time, is communications 80% of what you do. And giving the information to players and confidence to players to have a touch, and tell them what to do, and because they can see everything that's happening around you, and that's what they've got to do defensively. They've got to talk, and one of the young lads at the back has got to take the game by the scruff of the neck and do that.
Now Lafudu's got the ball here. 4 guys, the edge of the 18-yard box, plays it in towards Kane Felix. Felix stretches to try and get it under control. Can't quite. Parsons now trying to win the ball back, and in doing so concedes a free kick.
And looking at the team sheet when we got it, I think the name that stuck out today, Andre Jones, is the only experienced player down the spine of the team. I know Kane Felix has been named as captain today, but there's a lot on Andre Jones this afternoon to tell players around him what he wants, and particularly those wing backs. he'll see them creeping up either side of him, and it's a bit of responsibility on his shoulders to tell them when he wants them back or in.
Felix now trying to work down the left-hand side, trying to work past a defender who's held him up well, but the Lions have stuck at it, won the ball back. Again, though, the visitors repel the attack, and the ball high and out of play by Spencer.
It's good to hear Adam Lakeland from here screaming for every ball, and that's a comment on the passion that Adam brings to his management style. But as Kitty was saying, if you've got this lack of experience, a lot of it's about communication. Everybody can play, but spatial awareness you don't always have. You need to be told and told and told all the time.
Now the ball forward for Kane Felix to get on the end of it, but he's offside. The flag's already up, and it'll be a free kick to Farsley Celtic. It's a better spell after that early pressure.
Yeah, it's just settling down now, isn't it? And like Eddie was saying there, the communication is massive, and they've got to start. Some of these young kids have got to learn to do that, and once they've done it once, they'll do it and do it. And you know, when you say the senior players, there's not many on the park today, is there? So,
yeah.
So you know, they'll get respect, and it's a learning curve. But like Eddie was saying, if you're good enough, you're old enough, and that's why they're playing, and they've got to get on with it. And it's a learning curve, but it's the only way to learn is to play. And get that experience. Your keeper's massive today as well. He's got to be talking as well. And the thing is, he's another young lad that's just made a fantastic save and done his job. But what I liked about him, he would having a go at his full-back to say, where were you? And that's that's what he needs to be doing.
Yeah, because the visible error is from Chuck, but it isn't. It's actually from full-backs not tucking in to help him.
A rather aimless ball forward from Farsley Celtic. There's not much happening in there if you're just listening onto the audio stream, as we were kind of summarising. A bit of play down that right-hand side, but little headway. So it was a much more rigid defensive position that the Lions held. Much more difficult to break down than the early stages here. Still 0-0. 37 minutes on the clock. Guiseley on the halfway line with the ball, and into George Cantrell, who's surging forward now, plays it in here. Felix uses his pace, gets past his man, into the penalty area, takes a shot, puts the ball into the back of the net on the counter-attack, a little bit against the run of play, but great work from George Cantrell, finds the ball through to Kane Felix. The Lions get the lead. Guiseley 1, Farsley 0.
Fantastic start for the Lions. Brilliant surging run forward by George Cantrell. It's something we know he can do with the engine that he has. But key at the end of that run was when to release the ball. He put it through. It looked like there was just going to be a moment of indecision. Who wanted to get onto the end of it? Kane Felix claimed it rightly, coming away to his right. As the angle was narrowing, he chose the moment to put it past the keeper into the far corner of the net. And that is a really satisfying way to start the game on the break.
Great bit of play. You know what I like about playing it from the back, but it worked. It went to the centre forward, back to George. George runs in, makes it weighted pass, fantastic, and you 9 times out of 10 you back that man 1-on-1 to score. So it's great.
Away we go again. Guiseley lead by a goal to 0 here at Nethermoor, and the Lions concede a free kick as Isaac Curry just clips Spencer. Referee is close enough to see his view that that's a foul.
Just got to be organised now, because we spoke about this before. As soon as you've scored, you've got to be organised. The young lads now, and keeper's important now to organise.
And they'll have to organise, because this is a set play that will come in from Will Hayhurst into the box, and Brad Wade claims it cleanly in the air. And the Lions set themselves up well.
The other thing we're thinking about, I was just saying to Kitty as well, is for all their experience, we've got genuine pace up front ×3 today. So it's experience versus pace. And if we can deliver that ball like George delivered, that, we'll be okay.
Well, there's a free kick as Andrew Jones just has clipped a man on the halfway line. Didn't quite see who it was from this angle. Big shout on the field. You hear everything nowadays, of course, for the absence of fans, which is obviously not a good thing. But a free kick here for Farsley Celtic, and the referee perhaps with a decision to take on Andre Jones, and maybe possibly issue a card here.
Just another one again, isn't it? We've had how many times we've spoke about this, players getting round referees and getting in the face. The kids got up. It's a late challenge. To me, is it a booking? I think the incident after, where all the players round had made it a booking. I just thought, a word in his ear, next time you're in the book and get people away. It's just too much TV for me, mate, again.
It's early doors, isn't it? 10 minutes on the clock, so I think that'll be the first foul he's committed in the game as well. But free kick, another yellow card.
But and I completely agree with you, Steve. But to play devil's advocate, was it not worth it for Farsley's players to do that? Because they've just got a Guiseley person in the book when he shouldn't have been in the book.
But referees have got to start being a bit wise with it and look at the situation, not the reaction after.
Absolutely.
And we need to get a bit wiser with it as well and get involved in the same way.
Sounds like a race to the bottom. Farsley have the free kick halfway line into the box, headed up in the air, and there's a flag because I think it was Thomas Allen or Adam Clayton, are both that were in there looking to get on the end of the ball, and were offside. That was a well-organised back line there, well held.
Yeah,
caught the offside.
That's what it needed. After that goal, just steady it down now. Keepers end up with the ball twice, and now we've just got to get a bit more momentum.
The goal kick from Brad Wade can't stay in field, so free kick, or throw-in rather, it is for Farsley. Just waiting for a ball to be returned. And it's taken by Allen. Gets it back and plays it down the left channel, looking to get Luke Parkin involved, but Brad Wade, vociferous scream as he came to collect the ball. As if he was heeded here. Steve's advice around communication very clearly. He made himself well heard. Ball's
interesting comment on what gets spotted and what doesn't. Farsley 5.
Well, just pause because there's a sliding challenge, but he's not caught him, and Farsley players are screaming for everything. I have to say, I don't even see much wrong with it. He's caught him a little bit late, but the referee is now calling over for another conversation. But again, it's exactly almost a carbon copy of the moment a few moments ago.
Right in front of us just now, the Farsley 5's just run his studs right down the back of John Wilfield's shins, his cars rather. He's not gone to ground. And the referee's going to have to be very careful here because this is a game that could properly explode.
Well, that's twice. Two big shouts from the Farsley for yellow cards. On that occasion, not rewarded. But the Lions need to watch out because there's another set play here. Another bit of defensive organisation needed.
I just think next tackle's important as well because you've got to be careful. So I think he'll red card or book somebody for the next one. So just got to be careful on the challenges and let things calm down for a bit.
Edge of the 18-yard box again. Everyone's lined up as this one comes in. It takes a deflection off the feet, I think, of Malocco. It's gone behind for a corner. Am I right? Is this the first corner of the game? 13 minutes gone, 1-0.
Don't know. You're paying attention?
No. Don't normally. Just make it up as I go along.
And you told me you're going to change next year.
It's still 2020, sadly. Corner from the right-hand side. Farsley have bodies in the box. 5 in there. This one curls in towards the back post, but there's a push or something in the area. There's a lot of perplexed players as well. Not quite sure if I saw that one cleanly, Nick.
Well, good luck picking something out in a box that crowded. I don't know. There were probably a foul being committed, you know. But I think that's always true, isn't it? Under any corner that comes in ever, if you blow the whistle, there was probably a foul being committed by someone at that point. I don't know how they set their threshold for it.
Brad Wade clears. Goes into the Farsley half. It's cleared by Malocco as it's returned back into the Lions territory, and Farsley win the second phase here. Richards plays it forward, finds Parkin. Here to Richards, who's put his foot over the ball, sent it down the right-hand side rather. Luke Parkin working up against Nathan Newell. Does win the better of him on this occasion. Patrick Lane now up by the corner flag. Tackled there by it was Umbeka, and out for a throw into Farsley.
That's better from Farsley. Let's concentrate on playing football and not looking for a foul or anything to get them back into the game. Get back into your flow. There's mountain of time left, isn't there? So get back into your flow. What you've done to get you so far, because they've been done well, haven't they, last month. So get back to playing football, and let's see if you can get a goal in open play instead of trying to get a free kick or a penalty from something that's not going to be there.
Long throw goes into the box, headed away, but picked up second phase again by the visitors. Atkinson plays a crossfield ball forward to the right-hand side, chested down well by Dave Sayers, one of many former Lions. Wafulu is taking the ball past his man and is clipped, and it'll be a free kick to Guiseley. Fell in a good place, I think, from the perspective of Farsley, because Wafulu could have led some sort of counter-attack at that time, but Guiseley do get a free kick, left back position. Eases the pressure a little bit.
Yeah, so good afternoon to those of you on the Mixlr chat room. Tugger 18's joined us saying good afternoon, everyone. Lion Cub says happy Boxing Day, fellow Lions. And there's a good few people celebrating the goal. Well done, George Cantrell, says Lion Club. For the run, great ball, George. Great finish, Kane, says Margaret Cooper. And CDP 50's posed as a question. We might save that for a little bit later on when we got a lull in the game. And Plastic Man says great build-up and finish by Cantrell and Felix. And someone's observed Farsley number 9 moaning at everything. We're unbiased, impartial, honest. So can't give you an opinion on Spencer's behaviour.
Yeah, but that's just part of his game, isn't it? He does, he moans and groans at everything. But you've just got to keep your eye on him, because he'll have that. He'll get that half chance to be moaning and groaning. The next thing, balls it back in net, and he's done his job. But I mean, Farsley's just got to get back to playing again now. It's gone. You know, they've got to get back to playing football, because they set off really well, didn't they? You know, and like 3 minutes in, and Guiseley scored. So it's, you know, they've now got to get back playing, and Guiseley's got to be strong. Go get the next one.
Well, this is it. Anyone can get caught on the break by Kane Felix running at full speed, can't they? It can happen to any defence in the league. But otherwise, they've looked pretty steady, and they need to carry on with it.
Now, ball over the top, looking for Kane Felix again by Parsons. Just takes a frustrating deflection off the head of the defender. I think it was Clayton who got just enough to take it off, took the sting out of the ball, and Farsley get to clear that. Almost to prove the point you were making there, Nick, that move.
It's fortunate, because that doesn't happen often.
Cantrell's on the ball now for Guiseley. Just playing a little bit overplaying, and Cantrell slipped as the ball was played back by Andre Jones to him. The Lions get away with it, as Parkin also slipped at the crucial time. Now Curry battling down this right-hand side, gets the ball away, and then a overhit pass forward will roll out of play for a goal kick, and Brad Wade will trundle across to take this one.
Interesting afternoon for Isaac Curry, this, isn't it? Because we've not seen him play in midfield before. There's always a sort of I don't know why exactly it exists, but there's always a sort of an assumption that a fullback could play a holding role in midfield, and there's a lot of players who certainly can, but we've not seen Isaac be asked to do it before. He's started okay, but he's got a lot of learning to do.
Yeah, and I mean, people also, he's got very little experience at this level either. Previously at step 5.
Brad Wade just infuriating the visiting side by moving the ball in the 6-yard box to reposition it. It's a bit early for time wasting, but taking the flow or the pace out of the game is perhaps in Guiseley's favour at the moment. Farsley play another long ball forward up towards Parkin, who takes it down on the edge of the 18-yard area. Couldn't keep it under control and steps across is George Cantrell to clear. But still, Farsley with the momentum. Taken down here by Atkinson. The ball played into Parkin, who goes to ground claiming a free kick. The referee's not interested. Good ball here for Parsons, who plays it through, and Wafula's continuing his run. Goes up to the goalkeeper, comes out of the area to clear. Stephen Drench alive to the danger as Wafula was played through there by Parsons, and Guiseley recover the ball as just escapes under the feet of Malokwu and goes back to the goalkeeper Wade. Clears up to the halfway line. So again, the header on the halfway line won by Sayers. The clearance played up towards Kane Felix, running and scurrying after everything. Unable to claim that one ahead of the defence though. And Farsley come away with it down this right hand side. Richards plays it out to the right flank. The cross is blocked by Nathan Newell. Richard gets another stab of it, and it's played into the edge of the 6-yard box and headed behind by Lafudu. And it's going to be a corner for Farsley Celtic on that left flank.
Well, no doubt that the goal has actually made for a more open game, hasn't it? Because Guiseley were always going to have to play on the front foot in this game with the defensive lineup that we got. And now Farsley have got to come and chase it. It's end to end.
Corner comes in from that left-hand side up towards the 6-yard box, and there's a flick on from the header that of a Farsley man that means it goes behind for a goal kick. Still 1-0 to Guiseley after 20 minutes.
I don't think just watching how Farsley are defending the back four, they're too flat for me, and Kane's going to get in again if they're not careful. They're playing on the shoulder, both of them playing off the shoulder, and they're not looking at if Big Clates is going to go for the ball, let somebody else drop off, but they're not, and they'll get caught again if they're not careful.
If you look at it now, it's 3-on-3.
Ball goes up now for Felix. Claims it on the halfway line. He's clattered into, still fighting and battling to win the ball back, and then it goes down the right-hand side for Lafudu to claim. Goes up towards the byline. Can he cut this one back for the Lions? He gets it in, and it's ricocheted off a defender and into the hands of Stephen Drench. And that trademark clearance from Drench sends the ball down the left-hand side for Luke Parkin to chase. Edge of the 18-yard box, Parkin looking for an angle to get past Malokwu, who goes down, and the penalty is given. Parkin got past Malokwu, he made the challenge. Referee has opted to give that as a spot kick, and once again the Lions concede a penalty.
Inexperience there, because he could have, because he was stood up. If it had stayed with him, I think the ball would have ended up probably going out for a dead ball. But that's inexperience, and that's just what you get into it sometimes. It's unfortunate we spoke about it, but it's let them right back in it now.
Yeah, frustrating. No argument at all from up here. Naive challenge, I'm afraid.
Looks like Hayhurst who's going to take the penalty. Signed in 2018 from Warrington. He stands over. Brad Wade spreads his arms wide. The ball played very coolly into the bottom left-hand corner, and Will Hayhurst equalises for Farsley. It's now Guiseley 1, Farsley 1.
Well, we've got a game on now, haven't we? Both teams have shown that they're dangerous on the break. That time, as you say, was started off by that brilliant pass from Stephen Drench, and as you say, we saw plenty of those hit when he was in Guiseley colours over the years.
I mean, that's his trademark, isn't he? I mean, when we fetched him to the club, his kicking was outstanding. He's not the tallest keeper in the world, and sometimes he'll aim for saying this, he's not the bravest, but his feet are tremendous, and he'll do that again and get teams away, and that's where he had so much value to your side as a 11th footballer, really, if you want for a better word. But he's a good player, isn't he? And he's got him right back in that now.
Well, in all of that, there's been a substitute as well for Farsley, who've withdrawn Thomas Allen, the product of the Youth Academy, replaced by Adam Barton, who joined from Wrexham after completing an international clearance recently. So a bit of a reshuffle as Barton's a midfielder, and Allen is a defender. So an injury plaguing the visitors early doors, but they have got that equalising goal. And a big shout out to everyone who's joined us on the crowdfunder and have contributed to our crowdfunder this afternoon. And we're really grateful for all your support. Remember, we're just trying to keep the streams going free of charge. As guys who come away with the ball, Kane Felix will get a free kick. It's been a hugely humbling experience for all of the support that we've had from this. And again, we're getting it this afternoon. So thank you so much for everyone who has donated, including Steve Besford. Thank you so much for your donation. Roddy McDonald, Richard Chafer, David Womersley, Ian Spittlehouse, thank you so much as well for your contributions to this afternoon. You can find it via the YouTube page. Just click through to the crowdfunder. Now the ball forward here as Farsley come forward again and take the ball down quickly on the counter-attack. Johnson. It's saved by Brad Wade and palmed out to the left-hand side. And eventually the Lions get players back, and Wafula's in there to defend as well before Andre Jones' misplaced pass puts the ball out of play for a Farsley throw into the edge of the area, and Spencer again turns the ball out to the right-hand side. It's into the box here as Farsley get balls into the area and into the danger zone again. This time Lane drilling the ball across the face of goal. Brad Wade again doing enough before the ball is scrambled away for another Farsley throw.
He's just made 2 fantastic saves. He's kept Guiseley in this, hasn't he? Now when you look at that, that's 2 great saves. But what they've got to do now, it's you know, Kane Felix, if he's got a downside to his game, sometimes he don't come short enough to try and invite that foul to get him out of the, you know, get him further up the pitch. And you know, it's now got to come in this space on the other side of the pitch. But you know, he can get on the end of it. He can get an end of things like that. But he's got to start coming a little bit shorter and inviting that challenge, so they can get further up the pitch for me.
Farsley's throw is defended. It goes back into the Farsley half. It's cleared now by the visitors, and Cantrell will just shepherd that one out for a goal kick. But yeah, there's a real lift to the visitors, isn't there, since getting that equalising goal. They've had a lot of good spells in this game. In this
I
first
mean,
period.
you can see what Farsley do, getting it forward very quick, and as Steve said, you know, Drench is kicking, and also good diagonals from both sides from them. But we, as Steve said, we've got to be wiser in terms of the free kicks, how we milk the free kicks, getting round the referee and making it an arm wrestle.
We've just had a situation. We've just been speaking offline there that there's, you know, Dave Sayers made that challenge, and not one Guiseley player gone round the referee. You know, and I don't condone that, but you know, sometimes you've got to say, listen, that's second time he's done it. Let's be aware, third time, be consistent and get him in the book. And Dave won't thank me for that.
So if he doesn't watch back. Brad Wade clears the ball up to the halfway line. Flicked on by Felix, just put off his stride, and Farsley win the ball back, but Felix sticks at it, blocks the clearance. It ricochets back off towards Parsons, but just before he can get away on goal, the ball is headed clear and then nodded out of play by Malokwa, who conceded the penalty to a former Lion, Luke Parkin, who came on loan from Leeds United, under 18 side a few years ago in the old National League days. Guys who now concede another throw just up from the 18-yard box here. Will Hayhurst, who scored that penalty, will take. Throws the ball back here to the substitute, Adam Barton. Then as it's laid across to Sayers, comes out to the right-hand side, and Farsley can play a ball over the top again, looking
Offside.
to get the ball away to Spencer, but Spencer's straight a yard offside. Flag up straight away, and it'll be a free kick to Guiseley.
Joined on the chat room by RC Lion, says we need to exploit Farsley's high defensive line. And it's true, they're setting up pretty close to halfway, aren't they, Steve?
Yeah. They're all very static. They're all just in a line, and they're looking over the shoulder, and there's only one ball and it'll be in, because they'll leave all the three of them for dead. But they've just got to be careful. If, you know, Dave's got plenty of experience, to me he should be the one that drops off a little bit and lets everybody else pick up, and he can deal with things behind then if he's 5 yards deeper.
Now Parsons wins the ball for Guiseley inside the sort of towards the final third anyway. Dispossessed, and Farsley clear, and it's a good one over the top that Cantrell's got to be really alive to the danger to, because Parkin is right behind him. Cantrell does lob the ball clear well, but it's won back here, and Parkin's almost got away, but Cantrell again just in the right place at the right time. Once again won back by Farsley. Spencer plays it out to the right hand side. Richards, he's running onto it here, right flank, looks for a cross, whips the ball up towards the edge of the 6 yard box. The ball's clear here for a shot that comes in and is fired home. Will Hayhurst, his second in the game, and the Lions concede the lead advantage that they have and now trail by 2-1.
Great strike. You could see it coming, couldn't you? People dropping off, not missing the tackles. You know, the young lad is. You've got to be careful now, because I think he's like a rabbit in headlights when the ball comes in, and I'd put George in the centre of me and let him speak to him, because I think George has been outstanding in the games I've watched, and just try and get a bit of momentum and get a bit of strength back, because it's you know, it could slide the wrong way this, and it's very unfortunate, because that's how football is. Into you either come in and do brilliant, or you're like a rabbit in headlights, like I think he's just been there.
I think, yes, I agree with that, Steve, because every time they've attacked, they've looked like creating opportunity because the rabbit in the headlights argument is really quite strong, because that's now 5 times there's been errors involving the centre halves, and after half an hour, that's quite serious, really.
So, Guiseley trailing by 2 goals to 1 now. Brad Wade with a clearance from the back, flicked on by Fuller, but cleared and out of play by Sayers for a Lions throw.
I suppose we always suspected something like this would happen when Hamza got his suspension, didn't we? We know how important he is.
But I think he's in the central of the 3, and I would have put somebody with a bit more experience in there, put George in there, and he can talk, because he is quite a vocal kid, and I've been very impressed every time I've seen him. He's committed, and he wins his fair share of headers, and taught the young lad, the other, the new lad outside of him, just talk him through it, and he can go and win and head things and talk. So I'm surprised. I mean, they might change it, they may not, but that's just my opinion. I think he should have been pivotal in the middle of the 3.
He's an interesting case, is George, and to be fair, and Becker is as well. Neither of them were centre backs until 6 weeks ago, but they both look like they understand the game well enough to know how to go and do it with little practice. And as you say, to be fair, and Becker as well is another one who's more vocal than your average young player who's moved into a new role. And having Malokwu in the centre is looking a bit sticky.
Free kick to Guiseley, which Parsons will take in from this left-hand side. Flicked out. Guiseley will earn a corner here. It's not been happy viewing in the first half an hour, save for that Kane Felix early goal. But Guiseley have conceded 2, but now just starting to get onto the front foot here. Free kick that Parsons delivered into the box and earned the corner. Is now going to take the corner, with Guiseley getting 3 or 4 bodies inside the 6-yard box. This one flicks in at the back post. It's ricochets off and kindly away for Farsley. There's a claim for a free kick, a real challenge here. Lafuda goes in to try and win the ball off Hayhurst. Looks like he might have caught himself in making the challenge. Referee didn't order a foul. Feel that there was a foul in there. But Lafuda does look like he may well have hurt himself in that instance.
I think they were both committed there, weren't they?
Yep.
Awkward looking height as well for the challenge, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When he stuck his foot in. He's going to need a bit of attention. And Ash Proctor, is he the hardest working man at Guiseley Football Club at the moment? He's rushed onto the field as well to see.
We'll have to see, we're watching the game and I'm just watching the trees at the back, and it's getting a little bit more windy, and you don't know how bad that wind is on the pitch where they can't get out. But, just got to get to half-time now for me and let Russ get hold of them at half-time.
You've got to stay in this till half-time, because the wind's going to be more of a factor. If you look at that Farsley strike, which was a tremendous strike for the goal, that's also wind-assisted, so we stay in the game. And we've also got to stay in this physically as well, because there's some really wild challenges flying in here from both teams. So we just need to keep our heads and stay in the game till half-time.
What a shame there isn't fans in here either, Nick, is there? Because what a game, what an occasion this would be. It's a real full-blooded encounter so far.
It would have been one that would wake up even the most tired and emotional of Boxing Day hungover sufferers, wouldn't it? We'd have had some noise in the ground today. And to be fair, there would have been some noise as that challenge went in, regardless if players had tapped hands, that no hard feelings over it. But there would have been some noise, some calls on the referee to make a decision when they went in, regardless of whether it should have been a foul or a yellow card or whatever. But it's a little bit quiet when those challenges go in, especially when they're going in on Guiseley players, as you've both been saying.
Well, Lafuda's back on the field, but he doesn't look comfortable yet. See how that pans out as the ball is played forward. Again by Farsley Celtic. I think there's a player slipping in the middle of the park, Carl Johnson. This one over the top towards Luke Parkin. Finds the Farsley man offside. So a free kick for Guiseley, but Jonathan Lafuda, John Lafuda doesn't look comfortable, does he, Nick?
That's just a naughty. Sorry, Nick. That's just a naughty one on your shins. That one, I think, and it'll be sore for a while. And just got to keep his body moving and keep the blood flowing. He'll be fine. He's a tough boot, I think. Is he?
He gave it a thumbs up to the bench to say it was okay.
Yeah, well, that's good then, isn't it?
ball's up towards the edge of the 18-yard box as Guiseley press, but Farsley deal with it this time. On this left-hand side, chase on here for Jones to try and intercept the ball. The Fudu in the action there just to take the ball down. Control looks to be moving more comfortably now as Becker steps out from the back into Parsons. Parsons tries to release Kane Felix. Now Lane under pressure. He keeps control of the ball. It's out to this left-hand side where Hayhurst, who's scored 2 goals this afternoon. He plays it infield and a free kick is given as Spencer tumbles to the ground.
That was I'll give him 9.9 for a dive there. Mind you, Andre come really quick at him, so he's been about a bit of Spencer, so he knew what were coming.
Spencer, who scored for Mansfield when we lost to them in the FA Cup in Paul Cox's day. The Lions hold firm from that free kick and come over the line now with Parsons playing it out to the right flank. Wafula up by the edge of the 18-yard box, crosses it out towards Kane Felix. It's just got too much power on it.
He's never going to get. That's not his game, is it? You know, he's got to get. Fuller's there's got to get to line and drive the ball in, and that's where Kane Felix can come across Sunday. You know, he's never going to win the headers.
Yeah, there was nothing to go for there, really. There was no reason to play the cross in that position. Nobody in there for it. Well, Fuller should have backed himself, as you say, and kept going forward.
Throw from right back position for Farsley. Not cleared entirely. Fuller battling in there, trying to win the ball from Carl Johnson. It goes forward, but Malokwa's in place to chest it out of play for a throw. Really thrown into the deep end here, Chuck Malokwa, this afternoon. It's a full-blooded, attacking-minded encounter.
Oh, he'll learn his trade today. He'll know he's been in a game.
Farsley again looking as if they can make some pressure down this right-hand side. Jones steps across. So does Nathan Newell. Goes up towards Kane Felix, who can't win the header, but Fuller does well to get something on the ball before Jordan Richards wins it back. Guiseley do win possession again, and Parsons collects it just on the halfway line, but he's dispossessed by Sayers. And then the control is regained by Farsley. Allen at the back. Barton rather, at the back. He plays the ball out from that line down the left channel, and Parkin chases it, but it's too far ahead of him, and George Cantrell nonetheless is across him and able to watch the ball roll out of play.
I don't watch any of the academy football usually, so this may be a really stupid question, but I was just wondering how much Chuck's likely to have played in a back three, actually, you know, as a young player coming through the academy. I don't know what Dave Curry and Danny Ellis normally play, but there's every chance this is quite different to what he's been used to in under-21s.
It's just the quality of the opposition, in truth. It's just saying the kit is. I mean, Spencer's really good. He's physical, he's clever, he's wily, he's got ability. It's a proper challenge for him. He'll grow up today or he won't.
Andre Jones just wins the ball really well off George Cantrell. There's a little bit of trickery, but then doesn't find the pass, and now it's turned over to Farsley, who moved forward really purposefully here, laying down this left-hand side, gives it into Hayhurst. Well, Hayhurst goes back and tries to keep possession, ticking over. Barton across to Sayers and then out to the right-hand side where Clayton collects, and there's a good 1-2 that gets the ball away for Richards to play the ball into the box. Claimed well by Brad Wade, who's had a lot to do in this first 45 minutes.
That's a good phase of play. That from Farsley. You've got to get the transition right, and we've got to get the ball back and keep it.
5 minutes to go till half-time.
A couple of comments from the chat room. Alan Thompson says trying to play too much football in defence. As we're just watching Malokwa play back to Brad Wade now. Andy P's joined us. He says Farsley getting away with some today. And you know that we've been agreeing with that as we've been talking. He's also asked where Milan Butterfield is. He's out injured today. He picked up a knock in the last game, so we don't know how long he'll be out for, but he's unavailable today with injury.
See there, the young lad there. Nobody's made a run. The ball there was to put behind their back three for Kane to run onto him, but everybody's backed away from him and made his mind up for him, which he made a bad choice.
Farsley have possession again. Atkinson, Sires, playing the ball across that back line and trying to move it into a quick move across the from front to back. And across there was running Carl Johnson, who'd got away from his man. As it span away from him and went through to Brad Wade. And Guiseley again not really clearing their lines particularly well. Curry in for a challenge with Chris Atkinson. Curry, well, they collide, but there's not really much in it. A free kick is given, and Chris Atkinson is down, but certainly not malicious. And Atkinson will need a little bit of attention. And Curry looks like he's going to be spoken to by the official. But again, it's the reaction, isn't it? That reaction immediately has made a difference.
Well, for what's supposed to be a behind closed doors game, the actual visiting officials from Farsley seem to forget there are no fans in here. They're making noise in lieu of the fans who should be here, which is a bit off, really, to be honest. Not as it should be, the way they're carrying on down there. And they're trying to do exactly what the team's been trying to do for the whole of the first half, which is get the referee to make a decision that they fancy that he might not necessarily have been ready to make. And that's not supposed to happen in behind closed doors football. Sorry to be grumpy.
One thing it's for true is Aaron Bannister, he hasn't brought out the yellow card, and that's the second time, and it was in truth a nothing challenge. The two came together. There was a margin. He came in too late. It wasn't malicious. It wasn't dangerous, and the right decision has been reached. Free kick is taken. It's at the back post. It's played into the 6-yard box. It's underneath Brad Wade, but he bravely dives at the feet of Luke Parkin to claim the ball, and Guiseley recover. But again, another good ball out to that right-hand side. And they're using the flank so well, and the balls into the box are very dangerous, aren't they?
It comes in with some pace, but the keeper's done really well again.
Tremendous afternoon so far, Brad Wade. The ball holds up in the air from his clearance, though, in the wind. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out in the second half in Guiseley's favour. Lockyer here with a headed clearance up to the halfway line. Lafudu gets a touch. He can't keep it in play. And it's out for a throw for Farsley, halfway line. Still 2-1, unfortunately, to Farsley Celtic to report. Guiseley trailing after Kane Felix had given Guiseley the lead on 8 minutes. 2 goals from Will Hayhurst, 1 from the spot, and second a superb finish at the back post has given the advantage to the visitors in perhaps a wind-assisted first half. Becker at the moment just under pressure as he's in left-back position. Swipes at the ball, misses it, and it's out of play for a throw for Farsley on the right-hand side.
I think the issue as well here is you just have to get to half-time. Give the management team a chance to get everybody calmed down and get a word in people's ears, because we got quite ragged this last few minutes. And actually at 2-1, you're still absolutely in the game, so get to half-time. Get to half-time.
Throw from this right-hand side then for Farsley. Comes into the area where Spencer will claim. Plays it back, but it's dispossessed, and Nathan Newell can clear towards the halfway line where Sires is there to intercept. Barton now steps over the halfway line, plays it left to Parkin, and Parkin will just go safe back to Johnson as he can press up a little bit now. The ball forward from Sires is wayward and out for a Guiseley throw. Not long to go now, just a half a minute or so after regular time, so we'll just wait to see what the board's going to show.
Shouldn't show a lot, should it really? A couple of minutes maybe.
And guys again just don't work the ball down the left-hand side well enough to retain possession, so it'll be a Farsley throw.
I wonder what Brad Nicholson's thinking sat on the bench right now. Somebody who's been playing in this back three in parts of the season so far, been used in that role.
Well, Fudu's just unable to keep the ball in play after winning possession. And it's won here by Farsley once again. So it is 2 minutes, 2 added minutes. We'll just have a little bit more to ride, perhaps until we can get in, have a cup of tea and regroup, trailing by 2-1. This time we actually did lose on a Boxing Day was that awful 5-1 defeat to Bradford Park Avenue. Other than that, we hadn't lost on Boxing Day throughout the whole of the previous decade.
Now, I don't think the circumstances are all similar, but that does bode well for New Year's Day, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Brad Wade with the long ball forward. Guiseley win it on the halfway line. Firm challenge from Mbeka, but it's not going to stay in play.
Admittedly, on that occasion, Bradford Park Avenue were kind enough to self-implode between Christmas and New Year and help us out, weren't they?
Yeah. That was a particularly enjoyable victory, though, wasn't it? Thrown from right-back position is intercepted by Malokwa, who plays it forward. It's headed away. Won once again by Andre Jones. Lafudu, nice ball in field here. Finds Kane Felix, he's tripped. One last set play for the half. Time to get some men forward.
Yeah, just get it in the box and let's just see what happens.
Stick it in the mixer. Yeah. As the back line come forward, it's a chance for Parsons probably to distribute this, or Andre Jones. Andre Jones holds his arm up. He will take this one. No, he feigns it, leaves it for Parsons. Curled into the penalty spot, headed away by Barton. Collected by Hayhurst. And that's the last action of the game, of the half rather. A half which has turned on its head after a early lead was given to Guiseley by Kane Felix, who used his trademark pace to beat the back line and slide the ball past Stephen Drench in the Farsley goal. But a penalty conceded by Chuck Malokwa on Luke Parkin was converted by Will Hayhurst, and then just 7 minutes later Will Hayhurst applied a very powerful and accurate finish at the back post to give the visitors the lead at the break. Half time here, Guiseley 1, Farsley Celtic 2.
Well, Farsley Celtic will be correctly very happy with their work in that first half, having conceded that early goal, getting caught on the break. They've played really well. They've worked to exploit the space and indecision in this new Guiseley backline, and they've done well to get the 2 goals that they got. They've been sharp, they've been physical, and they've got forward in numbers, and they've been savvy with the breakdowns and the decisions they've needed at different points from the referee. And I mean that in a perfectly complimentary way. Guiseley, on the other hand, have got a bit of organising to do at half-time, haven't they, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned, is it Brad Nicholson, the young lad? To me, all right, apparently he's not having a good time at the moment, but he's experienced, he's played here last 2 seasons. If it had been me, if you're asking my opinion, and you haven't asked me opinion, but I'll give it, that I'd have played him. I'd have played him on left centre half. He's experienced, he's strong, and not put the young man local derby Boxing Day in, because it's not showing him in a good light. And you know what you don't want to do now is destroy the young man. But I'd get him out of the centre. It might be different with the win now. It might be a different game altogether. But I wouldn't have him in the middle. I'd get either George in there, get him to organise, and if Brad Nicholson, what's he been like? Eddie, has he been playing well? Has he been?
He's been in and out. He's been in and out of the team as well. But certainly for me, in a game like this, which is very physical, Brad's got physicality and he's aggressive. So at the moment, it's too easy for the experienced forwards. Let's get some aggression in the centre of the back three. And
I think the other thing as well, for him as a player, it sends a bad message as well, doesn't it? I've got a young kid coming, 17, 18-year-old, however old he is, never played it first team, and the lads have got to give him a bit more confidence and say, right, second half, get in there, get organised, and because his head will be on the ground, won't it, with it? Because he's thinking, if I can't get in this side, what have I got to do? And to me, like Eddie said, he's got loads of aggression when I've seen him. If he can't be having a good time, but his presence and his aggression might kickstart his season for him. You know what I mean? The young kid now, we've got to be very, very careful with him, because it can go the other way.
Well, it's been a good 45 minutes of football for Farsley. It's also been great for us in terms of the crowdfunder. Thank you so much for your support in that first half. We're really grateful. We aim to keep our streams free during this pandemic as long as we can, whilst fans are not able to come to the ground to watch the game. And so thank you for everyone who has supported us so far. We've tipped over that magic sort of £6,000 mark, and many thanks to those who've donated: to Anna Butterfield, Steve Besford, Chris Powell, some anonymous pledges. Really, really grateful for all your support in that first 45 minutes. You can do so at half time if you wish, by going through to the YouTube. If you look at the YouTube feed, there is a link through to the crowdfunder page. Anything you can spare will be gratefully received. We're not aiming to make a profit out of this, just to keep it plausible that we can continue to provide the stream free of charge whilst you're not able to join us in the ground, in which would have been a really interesting and exciting afternoon here at Nethermoor, where the Lions are currently losing by 2-1. Elsewhere, Telford 1, Chester 1, Blythe 1, Gateshead 2, Boston 1, Alfreton 0, Bradford Park Avenue 2, York City 0, Chorley 1, Fylde 1, Darlington 0, Spennymoor 0, Gloucester 1, Leamington 0, Guiseley 1, Farsley 2, Hereford 1, Kidderminster 1, Southport beating Curzon Ashton by 1-0. So we're going to take a short break now. We're going to hear from some of our great sponsors, and then after that we'll be joined by a highlights package of a game that we enjoyed last year, our next opponents at York City.
Now, we've made the change. George Cantrell, for the record, has moved into the centre of the back three, and it looks like Brad Nicholson will play left centre back. I think let's draw a line under it. Let's let the man learn from this experience as this corner comes in.
Parsons takes the corner. Farsley defend it. Lafudu up there trying to win the ball up high, up the field. Andre Jones collects the ball, but then plays it a little bit too hard. It goes out for a throw into Farsley. Steve, your thoughts?
We spoke about putting George in there and fetching Brad on. It just gives a bit more balance. You can see that, and it's like you've just said there about the young man. He's got to learn from it. He's got the experience. He had a great experience today. I just fear sometimes them sort of situations can ruin a young man. But let's hope he's strong enough to bounce back and hopefully next time when he plays it first team, he'll take all the experience from today.
Now the ball again played out to the right-hand side by Andre Jones. There's a challenge that comes in on the right-hand side.
That's a good.
Curry looked like he might have got the free kick, but the throw's given. Sorry, Steve.
Good start. Sorry for cutting across you. Good start.
We're also further up the pitch straight away as well.
So a good bright start from the Lions as we barely 2 minutes into the second period. Guiseley trying to get back from 2-1 down here with the ball going up towards Wafula but cleared by Sayers. It doesn't clear the halfway line. That wind potentially still playing its part as Wafula takes over for Guiseley now. Tries to work down that right flank. A challenge comes in and Guiseley earn the throw. Right hand side. Chance to get some bodies brought forward here. And it's straight across, I think, as Adi is shouting at me. Without the medium with the mic. But he's shouting at me that Brad Nicholson stepping up for the long throw. So this, of course, an important dynamic for Guiseley. Nicholson into the area. It's not cleared. It's up in the air. Still not cleared. Good headed clearance comes in from Sayers, I think it was. And eventually Farsley scramble it away. But more positive this from the Lions. Just need to watch this counter-attack as George Cantrell intercepts. Andre Jones can't keep it in play. And it's out for a throw.
Well, actually, this time last year, Brad Nicholson had two, aside from playing left-back, as we were in a back four at the time, he had two things that he always did for the team. One was the long throws, and the other was the goal kick pattern that we followed at the time, where Brad would go miles up top alongside the two strikers. It would be kicked onto his head, and he would square it infield towards the strikers. Now, to have found himself playing not just out of position, but out of the starting 11, that's a big challenge to him now. Coming back in, he can start doing the long throws and whatever else again. But he's got a big opportunity to show some value to the managers who've obviously chosen to overlook him to start today.
I think it's confidence in it. Eddie's round it on a day-to-day basis, but if he's been lack of confidence and lost a bit of form, he's got an opportunity now to get that form back, hasn't he? And I'm glad he's come on because he's a strong player as well. And Spencer will think twice backing into him and trying to roll him because he'll just, with his experience, he'll deal with it. So, but they'll look a bit more balanced now. George in the middle, he'll talk to people. He's got plenty of pace. So I just think it's a bit of balance, me.
From here, there's more noise now, Colin, from the Guiseley side.
Guiseley just winning the ball inside the Lions' own half, but Farsley still battling and trying to play it forward, struggling perhaps against the wind, but the Guiseley side have adapted better, and a Parsons ball forward towards Felix. Almost results in Felix coming away with the ball. This time it just escapes under his foot and rolls through to Stephen Drench, who's a familiar figure, of course, and whose distribution is, well, second to none in this division. And he's going to be up against it this half. It was his ball out from the back that actually led to the penalty that Farsley won to get back on level terms. This time the ball holds up in the air a little awkwardly for him as Guiseley recover possession, but Farsley hold firm as it goes back into their half. The Lions win the ball with George Cantrell, and he sends it down the right-hand channel. Sayers across, firm clearance. Ball bounces into the cricket field. Quick throw, very long throw there from Brad Wade, very quickly down here to Parsons, who's done really well. Gets past his man, but the ball has just gone out of play. And it's out for a goal kick. We got excited there for a moment.
Got away with that there, Dave. He won't be doing that again, because what do? You never leave it to run out. You've got to put it out and take the corner, aren't you? So he's got away with that, I think.
Good to see Parsons. Parsons
and you
impressed.
just thought the linesman's just slightly out of position. You get away with it, don't you?
But he's played well, hasn't he, Josh Parsons? He's impressed in this game so far. He's been chasing down, and he's just not given that ball up at all, and almost got his reward. Oh, another clearance, and it's bounced down here. Parsons chasing it again. Goes down inside the box. No movement from the referee today, Aaron Bannister. As Farsley come away with possession now in right back position. The ball's played forward by Richards. It's cleared by Nicholson and then couldn't keep it in play. Guiseley will get a throw. Brad Nicholson, long throw down that left-hand side. Felix chases after it. Should be too much for him to keep on. He couldn't do much more than just prevent it going out for a goal kick. And it's a throw in to Farsley. What a chance here, Steve, for the Lions to pin in Farsley. Like
that's what they've got to do. They've got to, you know, Kane now, this is where he can come into it if they get the ball behind him every time, because he'll get that one chance, but just got to pen him in, and it'll be a different game. See how Farsley react to this, actually.
Newell wins the ball back from the throw. Nicholson down that left-hand side, challenged by Jordan Richards. Throw into Guiseley.
You see, that's one thing I never mentioned about Brad, did we, about his long throws. So it's a set piece.
It is. It's
and you can't let it bounce in the box, because you just know who's going to get the end of it, do you?
Nicholson launches this one in. Really good throw. Almost too squarely, too cleanly connected by LeBrun and Becker, and the ball is behind for a goal kick.
It's as good as a free kick, as Steve said, with a wind behind it, is that?
It's hard to tell just how strong and influential this wind is from here, even though it's obviously not much less exposed than it is out there.
It's freezing sat here.
And to be fair, I'm just watching linesman. He's not moved. That linesman has not moved for the last 5. He must be freezing. He'll know. He'll tell you which way the wind's going, because he's blew down one side, and that's what you can see.
Another clearance from Stephen Drench. Goes out for a Guiseley throw. Just in front of the dugout. Curry. Cross here to George Cantrell. Then Brad Nicholson, who's being pressed now. Nicholson finds a nice-ish ball down that left-hand side. Good idea, but Kane Felix unable to get onto the end of it.
He's got to take a bit off there, hasn't he? But you can't judge this wind. But that's the ball. That'll pen him in.
Nicholson with a hand up of apology. Guiseley again looking to pen in here. The Farsley side that are leading 2-1. Both goals from Will Hayhurst after Kane Felix had given Guiseley the lead on 8 minutes. And it's Richards who will take this throw. And Andre Jones trying to get on the end of this one. He is unable to, because Patrick Lane does well in midfield to keep possession for Farsley. As they move it out to the left-hand side, there's a free kick going to be given against Wafula. But a good start here for Guiseley to the second period. Still 2-1 after 55 minutes, though, to Farsley Celtic. Ball's played forward as Guiseley recover possession, with Parsons inside the centre circle, spinning past his man, taking the game to the opposition, playing it out to the left-hand side. Newell running forward. There's people in the box, but Newell's got to get past Richards first. He goes back to Brad Nicholson, plays the ball into the box, and it just dips down and into the arms of Stephen Drench. We'll just take his time. Just a big thank you to everyone who's supported us on the crowdfunder. Maureen Hayhurst, Peter Goy, Carl Tate, Duncan Sayers. Lots of anonymous donees as well. Hugely grateful for your support. We're just trying to keep the live streams free, keep the ability to connect with our fans without the barrier of a paywall whilst we can. There's no profit coming from our fundraising scheme. If you can help us, we're very humbled by everyone who's supported us so far and grateful. You can just click through to the crowdfunder link that's on the YouTube page. It's a huge help to us, just to cover the costs. No profit in this. Guiseley now get the ball away here with Parsons. Rides a challenge, plays it through to Wafula, just a little bit too much on the ball, and it rolls through to Stephen Drench. It seems to be a good day for the strikers playing off the shoulder of the last defender.
Yeah. That ball was too straight, really, there. But I don't think he had anything else on, to be fair to the kid.
A slip here by Curry, or Lafuda rather, and a bit of a battle. In the end, the result is a free kick to Guiseley.
With this win, Colin, we're also better on the counter, because it's easy to take the weight off the ball from inside your own half.
moment, we've got too much of the ball for that. It's up here to Newell. Newell plays the ball over the top with his right foot. Again, just gets too much on it. And the ball will roll through to Stephen Drench. What I do enjoy about this is that I'm now effectively the PA as well. Sue, at half-time, announced the winner of the pitch squares to me. Instead of normally going up to Dave, so he would announce it, she came over to tell me who's won the pitch squares and asked if I'd put it out there at half-time. So I feel like I've taken up a higher position of authority within the club, just in that one moment. A huge long-range effort goes in from the halfway line from Andre Jones.
And before you reveal, so I got hustled into buying a pitch square before the game when I went to ask for a drink from one of the huts. And because I still had my headphones on, I misheard Sue and I thought she was saying my name.
I can reveal to you now, it's not you, Nick. Sorry.
It's not. Who is it?
It's number 33, who is Mick Glossop. So, Mick, congratulations. You've won the pitch squares for the month. And Sue says you have to go and see her at some point to claim your winnings. I do genuinely feel like I've just gone up a level or two, having been asked to do that.
Oh, you're really important now.
Not a huge amount happening here. The ball's just gone out of play, which is why I'm rabbiting on like this.
Colin, have you noticed where me and Eddie's not even commenting to what you're saying there? We've got our own thoughts there, haven't we, Eddie?
Yeah, it's really interesting that Farsley is sufficiently concerned about how we've got into this half, that they started slowing it down, breaking it up, taking time over goal kicks. There is some concern, I believe, in the Farsley ranks at the moment.
Well, there might be more, because Felix is down on the right-hand side. He's been clattered into. Free kick to Guiseley. Chance now to use this set piece and get some big men forward.
Well, we're looking more solid, aren't we now? And we've made a couple of opportunities, won a couple of set pieces away to our left. And it looks a little bit more positive than it was doing towards the end of the first half.
Yeah, I think, you know, the win probably had more of a say in the game than we realised. So, and the rain started as well now. So we'll see how Farsley cope with all this now, this pressure.
You must have listened to us do some of these over the years, Steve, and think, these idiots haven't got a clue what we're dealing with out there, and you're up here and you're seeing we've got no idea what is actually happening out on the pitch.
No, I think you've probably more honest than me and Eddie's put together.
This free kick just taken a wee while to set up.
The thing is, Eddie's very biased. I've got one foot in it, in the Guiseley camp. I always will have, but Eddie's got both feet firmly in.
Well, in fairness, I mean, Farsley got some very good footballers, and I recognise that. But yeah, certainly, what they have done so far is use their experience very, very well.
So two-man wall in front of this free kick, which is from the right-hand side. There's three on the edge of the 6-yard box. This one whipped in, headed away by the defence, who holds firm. And actually, Guiseley could be caught out on the counter-attack here, because it's moved forward by Lane. He plays it out to the right-hand side. Over comes George Cantrell. Great work rate just to keep that one away from Richards, who was charging forward to join the attacking momentum for Farsley. But excellent work there from George Cantrell just to watch the ball out of play.
I've been very impressed with him. Every game I've seen, he's done his bit for the team, and he's a decent footballer as well. He knows the game, so fair play to the kid. He's stuck as a central centre half of the three, and I think he's made a massive difference. Even just to look at him now, organising, getting people organised, and where's he from, Eddie? Where did he come from?
He came to us from Sheffield United, I think. Yeah. And he's only a young player himself, George.
Is he?
But he's only early 20s, I think, himself. But he's now played every position for us except up front, I think. Every outfield position except up front. And the thing that sticks out is he seems to understand the game well enough to go and learn a new position when it's required.
I think there also was a view that he was very unlucky that Sheffield United got promoted to Prem when they did, because he was offered a new contract and came to us on loan. But then once Sheffield make the Prem, the chances of him getting a first team gig get smaller and smaller. Very talented footballer.
So substitution for the Lions. Isaac Curry's gone off, and he's going to be replaced by Gabriel Johnson. So a second change for Guiseley. Brad Nicholson, the man who was the first, is just defending And sweeping up a ball forward from Farsley. Parsons is playing the ball into Johnson, who does well. And now it puts Brad Nicholson down that left-hand side, but his ball forward is too heavy for Kane Felix to get on the end of. And it's out for a goal kick. Still 2-1 to Farsley Celtic in this game, where all the goals came in the first half. We've had 62 minutes gone. Guiseley have asked more questions in the second period.
Speaking of questions,
yes,
we were asked a question for Steve in the first half on the chat, and there's a set piece and it's quiet. The question was, Steve, who is your favourite Guiseley manager? This was the end of the question said, by the way, mine's Steve Kittredge. This was from CDP 50.
Steve Richards.
Who else was in consideration? Not so many.
I didn't know where you were going with that, Steve. I thought you were going to say Steve Kittredge.
No.
Now, guys, you have the ball here. Good one in here from Nathan Newell, but that's just a little bit too close, actually, to Stephen Drench.
I think when you Eddie will back me up with this. You sometimes. I mean, I had 5.5, 6 great years here, and I had some really good players, and we had some good luck, and we played with a smile on his face, didn't we? And we won a lot of things, and it's transitioning. When you've had that success, and other managers come in, you sit and look at it outside looking in, and you think, they've got to change things because players get older, players leave, and all sorts of things. So it's evolved, hasn't it? And there were nobody more happier than me when the club got into the conference. And then what happened is when Paul Cox come here was just a disaster. And end of the day, I've got to be totally honest. I felt for everybody, who were part of the club, who'd worked for all them years to get where we needed to be, and I felt a bit aggrieved with it. But we've moved on from that. Russ has come in and steadied the ship, and to be fair, there's a lot of good prospects. And this season, if Guiseley finish mid-table and keep in this league, which I'm sure they will do, and if they go on a bit of a run and can push in for playoffs, fantastic. And then with the pandemic and what everything's happened, and then you've got to push on next year because these players will be a year older and add a bit more quality. But it's difficult, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's I've got to be careful when I'm sat here because I'm just making observations of what I've seen and being honest with what I've seen. But there's a lot of good things, a lot of young players, and the big thing, Eddie, you'll back me up on this. It's a reasonable, it's an average budget, and the club's been good on that respect, haven't they? They've had to do that because of what's happened over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think as you say, the budget is modest, but Russ and Marcus are good at bringing young players through, spotting gems and whatever. And frankly, it keeps the club solvent. So, that's the way it's going to be.
Now Parsons on the ball here for Guys. He plays it out here to Felix. Felix just dispossessed on the edge of the 18-yard box as he was trying to just cleverly play the ball past Allen at the back line. Guiseley again put the ball into the box. This time it's helped away. Picked up now by Jones. Fuller. Jones again on the ball as he steps forward with Fuller. Back to goal, goes back here to Mbeka. Nice ball in here for Johnson. Gabriel Johnson plays it in between the legs. The ball is fired towards goal but deflected away. Still not cleared. Nathan Newell with a shot into the back of the net. A super finish there from Nathan Newell on his right foot. Curls the ball into the bottom left-hand corner. Guiseley are level. It's now Guiseley 2, Farsley Celtic 2.
Nothing less than the Lions have deserved after the half-time. They've looked far better than they did before the break. And they've been patient and solid. They've made opportunities, and they've got the goal to show for it. 2-2. Now we've got a game on, haven't we? Could go any way in the last part.
Listen, they've got to get momentum. They've got momentum, haven't they? I can see Guiseley winning this.
There's the ball's hardly been in the Lions' half since half time. You pointed out the linesman over on this side, who's responsible for that end, barely needed to move from the centre, and I think we'll probably see that change now. We'll probably see Farsley push forward again, won't we?
Well, they'll have to have a go now, won't they, to get if they want the 3 points. But I think it's Guiseley's game now. If they just keep pushing like they're doing, you know, and get something from this corner, then it's, you know, it's funny how football changes, isn't it? Get at half time, get them in, you know, and a couple of changes made all the difference.
See, we've pressurised their touch second half, we've pressurised their passing game second half, we've got in their faces, got closer to them, got tighter to them, and it's as simple as that, really.
So Guiseley with a corner then. This ball played behind and played in now by Parsons. It doesn't beat the first man. Lane should complete this clearance. Newell, who scored the equalising goal, is scurrying after it. The clearance is then blasted against Brad Wade. And then as George Cantrell tries to keep the ball live and moving forward in Guiseley's favour, just can't keep it in play, and it's out for a Farsley throw. But a great finish there from Nathan Newell, wasn't it? Super finish, actually.
Yeah. Kids deserved it, you know.
He's a brave player, isn't he? He's come in. These are his first real senior games. This season is his first team football, if that makes sense. And he goes for it, and he has a go, and he's that sort of aggression, that sort of willingness to try something. You know, he's made a couple of really important goals happen already.
Now
in his
chance
first few
here
games.
for Farsley. They've worked their way through. Hayhurst, who's on the hat trick, he gets a shot away, and he just fires it over.
People also forget that Nathan was, for 7 or 8 seasons, a kid, a striker. He's got a striker's instinct, and he plays for us where he plays because of various sort of playing accidents almost. But he has got a striker's instinct.
I didn't know that. So as I said in the first half, I don't watch enough academy football here, so that's worth knowing. But there was the goal at Boston, wasn't there, or against Boston, away at Gainsborough, that he scored. That was really important before the COVID break.
Guys, who win the ball on the halfway line, and once again trying to move it forward as Andre Jones is dispossessed. Farsley, having had that opportunity, perhaps just feel that they can create more in the second half. They've been against it, but that said, now Felix is using his pace to great effect down the right-hand side. He's won the ball. He's up against Barton, gets to the byline, gets past him, keeps going into the penalty area, takes a deflection. It's gone behind. And it's going to be another Guiseley corner, and that was all the work and invention of Kane Felix.
Yeah, he went so quickly that there was almost no one from either team there to catch up with him, and he had to hold on a little bit. But he's done well there.
2 minutes ago, there we just saw that the risk in the game is Farsley on the break, because they've got the players to deliver that break. We know we've just got to be careful to keep the back door shut.
Corner now, right hand side. Everyone lining up on the 6-yard line here. This will be an in-swinger into that area, but headed away at the near post. Gabriel Johnson collects, back to goal, but plays it out here. And the Lions keep it moving forward with Lafudu finding Brad Nicholson, who earns a throw. As Steve said earlier, every bit as good as a set play.
Yes, I mean, it's one-way traffic. You know, if guys score this goal in next 5 minutes, I just think it's over and done with, you know.
Nathan Newell gives it back to Brad Nicholson, who curls that one in towards the back post. Farsley hold firm. The Lions still win the second phase, though, as the ball comes out of play, and Brad Nicholson gets it back underway with a throw down the left-hand side that is touched out of play by Jordan Richards. Another throw for Guiseley.
Just tough, though. Can't get out, can't Farsley. Can't get out at all, so it's another throw-in.
It's only going to be on a breakdown.
This is another opportunity to chuck the ball into the box. It's sent long again by Brad Nicholson up towards the near post. This time headed away, but not completely. So Nicholson can curl this one in towards the back post. Headed well by the substitute Barton, who manages to get a clearance in there. Guiseley collect the ball once again. George Cantrell dinks it into Nicholson, left-hand side, takes it down. Nicholson looking for a cross. It's challenged, but holds off the challenge. Plays it in with his right foot towards the back post. Wafula leaps, can't get it down, and the ball is behind for a goal kick. But that was, again, good play there. Good ball in from George Cantrell, good delivery from Brad Nicholson.
You can just see there the difference there, where Brad's come on and is strong, held the challenge off, come back, and they got something out of it. But there's only one team in it at the moment.
Oh, should Wafula have done better with that? Should he have done better with that header, that close range?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he should have. Yeah, I think it looked like to me he was closing his eyes when he did that.
Stephen Drench with the goal kick. This time again his distribution challenged by the wind. Ball out of play for another throw for the Lions.
Couple of quick bits from the chat room. Margaret Cooper, one of you will know the answer to this. How long's Hamza out for? So it's a suspension, isn't it? Is it just one game? One game. So that's good news for the York fixture. Tugger says, well played, guys. The best team this half. Netherfield Lions says, get in. Lion Cub says, well done, Nathan. And Kelly Anders says, great goal. And as for favourite Guiseley manager, it has to be Gordon Rayner. There you go.
Oh. Nathan Newell now has it.
None taken, Steve?
No. I knew of Gordon, but I didn't know him. But football's all about opinion, Spell, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Richards now on the ball for Farsley. Plays it down the right channel. Chase on here for Parkin. Look, Parkin's name barely mentioned this second half because they've played so much of it inside Guiseley's, inside the Farsley half. Ball forward now, and Felix again just trying to lurk and capitalise, but unable to get the better of Dave Sayers, who was across there to put the ball out of play. Guiseley collect now with Gabriel Johnson quickly from the throw. The pace and the momentum with the Lions. Parsons with the ball into the box. Stephen Drenchow. Well, he's too early for that. He knows exactly where the ball's coming and collects it in the near post. And again, a clearance from the back this time. Good delivery there from Drench up to the halfway line. A challenge from Mbeka results in a free kick. And a little bit of nonsense, I think, on the halfway line is perhaps all you can really describe that as. So Mbeka goes to ground. Looks like Farsley going to make another change, or maybe two changes over there.
Well, they won't be happy at all with how this is going since half-time. They've had only scraps to work with, and at this stage of the game, it's right to be making a change, isn't it?
Yeah, they haven't retained the possession of the transition. The ball's gone back every time, and Guiseley's on the ascendancy with it. And what they've got to do now, if they're going to make the changes, they've got to just keep hold of the ball and try and get in the Guiseley half, because I don't think keepers had a save to make.
Well, it's going to be one former Guiseley man, another player who's on loan with us at one point, Jake Charles.
In a sense here, the two halves have almost been like mirrors of each other, haven't they? You know, we were inattentive with the ball, gave it away easy, we weren't physically enough, and second half it's been the other way around so far.
So it's Patrick Lane off, Jake Charles on, and Tyler Walton on.
Comment on Farsley's squad depth and what they brought on, though.
Yes, he's started his career with Man City and Leeds United's academies, Tyler Walton. He's coming on for Luke Parkin. And Guiseley immediately are under pressure, but this time the ball that goes in towards Sizes, which he's shot wide, is anyway relieved by the fact that there's an assistance flag on this near side. Let's put it up. Still, it's 2-2. Level here. Equalizer in that second half from Nathan Newell. 15 minutes to go. By the way, just choosing his options from this kick. He flicks it on, trying to find Wafula's head. His flick on intercepted before it went through to Parsons. Brad Nicholson will take this one.
Yeah.
Nicholson will look for an option. He plays it infield in the end, and Felix is dispossessed. Cantrell steps over it and almost leaves the ball, which everyone seemed to leave the ball there for a moment. Brad Nicholson plays it down that left-hand side. Just too much on it for Wafula, and the ball is out of play for a goal kick. Steve, what do you make of those two changes then?
What for
Farsley? Yeah,
for Farsley, they've had to make a change. They've got to do something to get a spark back and get them further up the pitch. And the lads that have come on are good players. So they just need to get it in behind Guiseley at the moment. But they can't see them get out of their own half. I know the wind's got playing on something, but they've got to be. They've stopped being first to everything of Farsley. And like Adi said, I think it's a saying, it's game of two halves. But Adam won't be happy. Russ will be happy. Eddie's been in the dressing rooms and he knows what Russ is like. He'll get round everybody and ask them to put a shift in, and they have done. And that's all. And he can't ask for any more than they've done. And to be fair, they've been best team second half.
Just saying as well, Colin, our front three have shifted around. Wafula's put himself on different centre half, and they're playing tight, then they're spreading. They're playing quite intelligently, the three of them.
Well, there's a throw for Guiseley halfway line. Hopefully can keep that intelligent play to the Lions' advantage here as they play it down the right-hand side. Farsley to defend it and clear. Lafudu takes it over the halfway line. Run out of space almost, but Guiseley keep working, and Wafula plays it down that right-hand side. Lafudu's continued his run. Can he keep it in play? It's just got ahead of him and behind for a goal kick, but some good work rate there.
I mean, I'm very surprised that Dave Sayers isn't getting round one or two of them now, and barking some instructions and asking for a bit more of everybody. But he's, it looks like he's just looking after his own game at the moment. He's Dave, but somebody's got to take the game by the scruff of the neck from the opposition and just say, right, we've got to dig in here, guys, and turn this ball, get this ball high up the pitch.
I think this would be made for young Adam Hoare now as well, because he's so tricky.
Well, there is another player on the bench. I presume Adie's trying to suggest his soothsayery is in full form, but at the moment Guiseley have got a bit of defending to do. Never mind bringing on an attacker. There's some pressure being applied as Tyler Walton was trying to work down that left-hand side, the ball out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in.
Well, AD couldn't have seen that because he was facing us. But as he was saying that, Adam Hoare sprung fully kitted up from the dugout, ready to come on in a couple of moments.
Listen, he's still got his little microphone in his ear. Don't you worry, has he? He knows exactly what's going on.
Long throw into the box from Farsley as they're pressuring now. Headed away by Brad Nicholson. Out to that left-hand side, Hayhurst looks for the delivery back into there. It's a dangerous one. Out comes Brad Wade. He claims it second attempt. There was a crowd of players around him, and he bravely got down low to claim it on the edge of the 6-yard box. Swiftly, both sides want the win here. Newell sends it down the left-hand side. Chases Parsons, and this time the ball is up. It might even land towards us as it hits the roof of the stand to our left, and we are going to have that change. And it's Josh Parsons, who's played well this afternoon. He'll be making way, and it will be Adam Hoare who's going to be added to the Lions starting lineup. The Lions lineup.
He's played all right today, Josh Parsons again. Clever player, natural left footer, adds a bit of something. He's had space in between the lines to move around in, and he's attempted some good balls through for Kane Felix as well. But this isn't a change you make, just to see the timeout, is it? You bring in a striker on for a sort of attacking midfielder because you fancy your chances at getting a winner in the last few minutes.
I think he's every right to do that, to be fair.
Becker collects a ball from Brad Nicholson. Nicholson gets it back and curls this one in, and it looks at this angle like that was very close, but Stephen Drench was very nonchalant in his goal, watching that one go over. And I think it was, it looked a fraction over from this angle, but it was probably a bit further away than it looked to us.
Drenchy's never been the most expressive anyway, has he? He wouldn't necessarily have looked any different if he really thought it was about to go in.
No, we can back that up, can't we, Eddie? How many times did we go away, and because we got beat, he wouldn't even come in the bar after. He'd just sit on the curb by the bus.
Yeah, he wouldn't even get on.
Guys, now having to work hard in midfield, trying to scramble around and win possession. Farsley struggling to hold on to the ball and create some attacking momentum.
I think they've got tighter in midfield as well. And they just got tighter and they haven't settled on the ball at all. I don't think they've put 4 passes together for this second half.
They have just the last couple of minutes got a little bit of a foothold, haven't they?
Yeah, some of the momentum perhaps that we had, which was relentless to the goal, has perhaps subsided. Not to be surprised. Guys, he's still pushing forward here. Zumbeka plays it down the right-hand side. Sayers clears. Andre Jones wins it. Hoare on the ball. Dispossessed. Jones wins the ball back. Really well-timed challenge from Andre Jones. And he's now got to try and muscle off Carl Johnson. And indeed, Carl Johnson's fouled him, and it'll be a Guiseley free kick. Middle of the park. A chance again for a set play. A bit too central perhaps for a real threat.
I'm striking this, by the way, with the wind.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just get it fired in at Drenchy.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay.
Get it fired in. Let's see what happens.
Bits and pieces.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Brad Nicholson stood over it. This is
Just got to hit the target.
Andre Jones. Wonder if they'll do this.
I think he'll just dink it in with his body shape. Yeah.
Jones does. Plays it up towards the edge of the 6-yard box. And up goes Becker. He heads it wide, and it's behind for a goal kick.
Well, it found the target, didn't it? It found the head of the Guiseley player, but disappointing to see that go wide at the near post.
I always thought he should have had a shot, actually.
Yeah. Well, listen, you don't buy a raffle ticket, you don't win the prize, do you?
Can't be long left now, can there?
No, we're looking at last 8 minutes now, and Guiseley now having to defend because Farsley are on the attack down that left-hand side. Spencer plays it out to the left-hand side. Hayhurst again on the ball as it's worked down that flank. Substitute Charles getting involved. Charles will chase after this one. He gets past his man, goes into the edge of the penalty area, looks to lay it back. The Lions clear, but it will be collected again. This time Atkinson takes it down. Guiseley win the ball back here, and it's away towards Kane Felix, but there's a foul in all of that on Adam Hoare, and so it'll be a free kick to Guiseley.
Just before we hit the climax of the game, I wanted to mention one of our long-time listeners, Michelle Teal. If you've followed Michelle online or you know her, you know what an inspiration she is. She's often been a part of our broadcast. She's had some tough health news, and I don't know if she'll be listening to us at the moment, or Melvin or any of the family, but we just wanted to make sure that you knew we were all pulling for you, Michelle, and you are very much in our thoughts, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Yeah, second that. I think that will be seconded by absolutely everyone watching online. Everyone here, not that there's many here, sadly. Still 2-2 into the last 5 minutes. Guiseley looking for a winner. Stephen Drench with a goal kick. Plays it out, and it's won back and played forward. John Wafula will chase after it. The ball played back to Drench, who clears. Good header from Gabriel Johnson. Allows Andre Jones to collect, and then Becker to play forward. Jones again in the middle of the park. Gets past his man. Very influential in that role today. As Nicholson plays the ball out to the left-hand side, where Newell goes up against Richards. Newell allows the ball to go out of play, and it doesn't quite go out for a corner, but it's as good as a corner when Brad Nicholson trundles across to take this long throw.
It's a chance. Chance to get it in box. Let's see what happens.
Up comes Becker into the box. There's plenty of white shirts in here. This long throw from Brad Nicholson towards the near post, headed out. It'll be a corner to Guiseley. Pressure telling now into the last 4 minutes. Can Guiseley get the final touch on one of these set plays? Can we snatch a late winner? Brad Nicholson taking the corner again from this near side. There are four in around the penalty spot, splitting out now. Nicholson plays the ball in. It's headed away. Gabriel Johnson, edge of the area, takes a shot. Seems to hit the player's arm in the penalty area. The referee not moved. Nicholson, he curls it into the penalty area once again, and this time takes deflection. It's another corner. Big shout for a penalty, though, there. It was a shout, anyway.
It was a shout, yeah. Yeah.
I won't pretend to understand the handball rule anymore, but his arm wasn't high up in the air, was it? I mean, it's hit his arm, hasn't it? But it you know, been difficult for him to get out of the way.
I would have given it.
Now they're all on the line here for this free kick. Stephen Drench is one of the most advanced defenders in there. This one is curled in. It's headed away at the near post, though. It's not quite enough on it to cause a threat. This time, as Nathan Newell tries to win the ball back, he's committed a foul. And The quick free kick that Tyler Walton wants to take is prevented from doing so by the official because he's taken it a few yards too far in advance.
Well, both of those two corners, we were leaving 3-on-3, weren't we? Because they're leaving more players forward. We've had to leave one extra one back. Means we've got one fewer body in the box. But it looks a bit iffy that, you know, if that header comes out or a clearance comes out of the box, then Farsley would have an opportunity. It's us on the front foot again at the moment.
Haw on the ball, plays it out to the left-hand side before it gets through to Wafula. It's intercepted. Counter-attack then looked for Farsley. This time the ball really well won by George Cantrell. A long one forward that Kane Felix will chase after. Doesn't win. Stephen Drench collects and rolls out here to Clayton. The ball goes forward again as Farsley look for the late winner. It's won by Atkinson inside the centre circle, plays it long and into the box. Brad Wade collects. He rolls it out to the left-hand side where Newell takes it back here to Brad Nicholson, and again it's long, down this left-hand channel, down for Felix to chase. He's up against Clayton. The ball goes back to Drench. Drench sure-footed with his clearance, but Gabriel Johnson collects the ball. Adam Hoare takes it past one, almost fed it through towards Wafula, who was in the penalty area, but free. But good interception comes in, and now it's Farsley on the counter-attack. There's two players that have collided in Andre Jones and inside the centre circle. Here's one of them. There's a bit of a disagreement, but nothing comes of it. Gabriel Johnson now again on the ball inside the Lions half. And Becker goes over the top. He's overhit that one though. And in the end that just returns possession to Stephen Drench. You can probably hear that wind.
Yeah, that storm's arriving fast, isn't it? We won't be hanging around in the ground for long at full time, will we?
Now ball out over that left-hand side. It's in here to Hayhurst. He's played it back. Shot comes in at range, headed away. Guiseley completely headed clearance with Gabriel Johnson, but the ball won back again here. Johnson, Carl Johnson, takes it down for Farsley. Guiseley managed to clear, goes up towards the halfway line where Andre Jones is ploughing a bit of a lone furrow now. Much more pressure from Farsley in this last sort of 5 minutes or so. And perhaps we've seen for the rest of the game, the rest of this half rather. Certainly grown into the end of the game here. Still 2-2 into the last 30 seconds of normal time. Nathan Newell takes the ball, starts a run, rides a challenge, just can't thread it through towards Brad Nicholson. Guys, you need to watch the counter-attack again because Farsley have got bodies forward. This one goes over the top, the flag stays down as Tyler Walton goes into the penalty area, takes a shot, it's stopped. The ball falls dead inside the penalty spot, or inside the penalty area, and eventually is cleared, but up to the halfway line where Farsley are really taking the game now to the Lions. On the left-hand side, they're looking for the cross into the box. This one up in the air, headed away by Nicholson. Still won the second phase by the home side, the visitors, and then in the end, Nathan Newell, no nonsense, hoofs the ball forward. But with 3 minutes of added time to go, guys are a bit backs against the wall here into this spell, and another good ball here forward by Richards. Walton's away again, plays the ball across, it's bounced off the bar, it's a shot that's saved at the near post, and this time Guiseley come very, very close to conceding a late winner to Farsley, and that's a good ball in there from Richards. I'm not sure who was the attacker who got on in the end of it. I think it was Jake Charles. Yes, Jake Charles, as he stands up, who got there. He hit the ball into the upright and then couldn't get up and apply the finish before it scrambled out for a corner.
Fantastic save again. Fantastic save. When it's come off the post, he's hit it again, and the keeper's dived at his feet. Tremendous save.
Corner, right-hand side, Farsley close to winning the game late on here, into stoppage time. This corner, right-hand side, is delivered up towards the back post. Headed up and back across the face of goal. Headed away, Wafula in there. Not far, only as far as Spencer inside the penalty area. Goes back to the corner taker, who twists Hayhurst, gets it into the area. Spencer with a chance to finish it, but he skews his shot wide. and the ball is behind for a goal kick, but these are touchy moments now for the Lions.
You'd expect better from a player of his calibre there.
Being honest, Farsley should have won that there at the end in injury time. They've had 2 moments where they should have won it. So how are we feeling about 2-2, guys?
I think it's a reflection. It's a fair result, 2 apiece. But like I said, if the keeper's made a fantastic save there, and you'd expect more from Spencer there. His quality. I think he stabbed at it where a little bit more time he'd have placed it. But listen, I think they'll both be happy with the point. Adam might not be happy with that last 5 minutes, but I think Russ and Marcus will be well happy.
Well, we'll take the point. We've still got a few seconds yet to play, and a free kick to Guiseley on the halfway line.
Now, looking at how the weather's turned in the last few minutes, the referee will wish he'd said 1 minute rather than 3. He will not want to be hanging out here longer than necessary, but it is sluicing into Stephen Drench's face, this sleet that's coming down now.
Ball forward up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Ricochets off 2 heads. And that's it. Referee calls time on it. Last opportunity. Passes. But Guiseley have put in a stirring second-half performance after Farsley dominated the first. Felix got the Lions off to a good start on 8 minutes, firing home after using his trademark pace to get past the back line. But Will Hayhurst equalised from the spot on 22 and then scored a second, a fine finish at the back post on 29. But Guiseley were much stronger in the second half, ringing in the changes, and Nathan Newell's good strike from the edge of the 18-yard box levelled the scores. A late winner might have come Farsley's way when Jake Charles hit the post, and a fine Brad Wade save denied him at the very death. But it's all honours all even here at Nethermoor. Guiseley 2, Farsley Celtic 2.
Well, it feels like a fair result after a funny sort of a game. The typical, the stereotypical game of 2 halves. The difference after the break was night and day, particularly in the Guiseley defence and how they set themselves up and how balanced and solid they looked compared to before half-time. Did well, as you say, to get back into it. Worthy of getting there at that point. Could have been anyone's game, and I suppose, Steve, in the end, the fact that it was no one's game is probably okay overall.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think Adam will be a little bit upset with the couple of chances they've had, but the keepers, like I said, the keepers made a great save. I think Spencer could have done better with it, but on reflection, they haven't had a kick second half, and that's first time they've had any really pressure on Guiseley in the second half. So I think it'd have been massively unfair. I think Russ will get round his guys now and say it's fantastic. I think George and the keeper's been outstanding today, and it only adds to a good game on New Year's Day at Farsley.
Yeah, it certainly will be. It'll be great to see a return fixture between the two. But first of all, we've got York City away, and we'll go into that game with a bit more confidence, won't we? Certainly with that second half performance, AD.
Yeah, I think as everybody said, that's probably a fair result. I mean, in fairness, the 2 chances they've created late on have perhaps been due to our naivety looking to win the game, because we saw them consciously go 3-on-3 with a view to perhaps that might be what happened. So yeah, it's fair result, good game, and on we go from here.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for this live stream, and thank you to everyone who supported us via the crowdfunder. We're hugely grateful, hugely humbled for all your support this afternoon. The big shout out to those who've donated in the second half: Julian Atkinson, Philip Savage, Roger Halliwell. Some of you have just remained anonymous, Paul Cuthbert too, as well. Really grateful to everyone who joined us. If you've enjoyed what you've watched this afternoon, who could not have enjoyed the football? It was a really interesting game between 2 rivals who were once again going head to head on a Boxing Day fixture. Then it would be humbled if you want to support us. We're at crowdfunder, and you should just look up Guiseley AFC in our live stream, but you can also find it through clicking through the YouTube link that is available to you. Just a couple of wrap-up points. There's a final scores that are coming in now from around the grounds, and in the National League North, it's Boston 2, Alfreton 0. Bradford Park Avenue have beaten York City 4-2. Chorley 3, Fylde 1. Darlington 0, Spennymoor 0. Gloucester 1, Leamington 0. Guiseley 2, Farsley 2. Hereford 3, Kidderminster 1. Southport 2, Curzon 2. 2 games were off today: Kettering against Brackley Town and Spennymoor versus Darlington. Positions-wise, it looks like we are currently now 18th, 12 from 12 games, and so we'll go into that York City game on Monday with good optimism, good hope, and after that second half performance, a little bit of a bounce. We'll see you then on Monday, but for now, thanks so much for listening today. At the back post, there's a chance, there's a shot that comes in and it's fired home. LeBrun and Becker, what a strike. The 18-yard box is floated in and headed home. Felix has got a bit of space now down this right hand side and into the penalty area. He goes past the goalkeeper, slots the ball home. The Lions have a third, surely that's the game. He's in a good position, goes towards the edge of the area, can get a shot away with his left foot and score another. He can, just beat through, he's on the edge of the area, takes a shot and he's put it in. First goal here at Nethermoor since March, and it's Felix who gets it. Picked up here by Hayhurst, edge of the area, takes a shot, a super goal.